Hey there. Start here. So we've got the early stages open for the current Vision World, the Final Fantasy VIII Vision World. So the final bosses won't be open for a few days, but I figured I'd go ahead and just show you a couple teams that I put together to clear out the early stages. I usually like to do like a one team to rule them all, but there are, they've carried over the ridiculous, physical only or magic only stages from Dark Visions. So, I did have to switch a couple of things up for the last two of the early stages. And so, yeah, I don't have a one team to rule them all, because I had to do like a physical team and then a magical team. So I'll start with the one that I don't know might be giving people the most trouble. It's the magic stage against the Iron Giant. For a majority of players, this probably isn't going to be too difficult, but it is a mage only, so only pure mages can do this. Now, it is a machine, so you can do the re-raise trick on this one. Since it's not a Reaper, if you want to, you can do the re-raise trick on this one if you're having trouble clearing it out. And what I mean by that is you can reflect re-raise off one of your units onto the boss, and then just kill it with pure magic. It will then re-raise, and then you can use your physical mages like Olive or Ibarra or whatever to come in and just slay it. So I'm not sure what the magic final boss is going to be. That one will hopefully also be re-raisable if you don't have a lot of pure mages at your disposal. But here we go. We're going to do the Iron Giant. Like I said, it is a machine. Iron Giant in FFBE world has typically been a human, so that might be a little confusing. You might be wondering, hey, why am I not doing a whole heap of damage when I've got all my human killers and my human killer buff and all that stuff? Because it's machine. So that might be tripping you up a little bit. Anyways, here's the water team that I'm using. Has to be pure magic. And so I will say that NVA Selfie can basically carry this one for you if you have a good Water Imperil, a good Spirit Break. You see I've got Laguna in there. He's fully crowned, so you saw me do the crown battle earlier today. And so he's fully crowned. He'll be in there doing the big Imperil and the breaks. If you don't have Laguna, hopefully you have somebody like what's his name, Kaito or something like that, who could come in, or maybe even like Lulu. Lulu's a great swap in there for Laguna. Someone who can do a big Imperil with some breaks would certainly be good. You can always bring Luis as a budget 90% Spirit Breaker. All right, very clutch. Cisne is there. She's the free unit from Final Fantasy VII a few weeks back. She's purely there for her machine killer buff. All right, she's a free unit, comes with a 130% party machine killer buff that's both physical and magic, which is nice. You may notice I have Esther there. Esther does have a machine killer buff, but it is physical only. That also goes for Kaito. So if you did bring Kaito and you were thinking, oh, I'm going to use his machine killer buff, it is physical only. All right, so keep that in mind. You definitely want a magic killer buff. Adia is there because she's a free unit and she gets a bonus, which is nice. So she'll be in here rocking it. Esther is just there. She's going to be on every team. She's just the Omni tank, because all of these are going to be 2-turn kills, just a setup turn and then kill it on turn 2. So Esther's there to just tank everything for you on turn 1, so you don't have to worry about it. And then you see I've got Beach Girl Fina in there. I pulled her on a random poll. I don't know how long ago, probably a month or two ago. Obviously, I only pulled the one, and I never got her shard, so she's stuck at EX0. But I figured, let's give her a shot and see what she can do. So here, let's go ahead and take a look at the gear. You can see she has an embarrassingly low mag stat, but it's not going to matter. We're still going to get it done anyways. She's got her TMR, Red Hellebore, circlets there just to finish capping off her TDH. She can wield guns innately, so that's why I gave her Summer Sparky, which is great. Two-handed gun with 150% TDH on it. Magister's Ring for chain cap boost. And then just capping up her machine killer and her LB damage. I gave her Olive's card. So I think she's capped on all that stuff. Yeah, LB damage, capped on magic machine killer, good to go. All right. Yeah, you can honestly swap her. You can swap anybody in her place, by the way. Does not have to be Vacation Voyager Fina. I'm just like, you know what? I've never used this unit before. I want to use it. So put anybody in that slot you want. Does not have to be her. Okay. Esther in her Brave Shift form, just built on for solid, you know, fairly solid bulk here with a good spread of elemental resists, and that's all she really needs. Nothing too fancy. All right. Selfie is just dual wielding rods. You know, if you have the gear for it, obviously, you know, try to build her TDH because that will increase her her power quite a bit. I went with dual wield rods just because, you know, I figure it'll be easier for a wider range of audiences to replicate. And also we get a rod and peril from Edea, so very, very good to do that. Probably the best double hand weapon for her would be Dark Fina Warrior's Prayers STMR, the whip. So that's a good one to put in there if you want to build her TDH. All right. Otherwise, again, just capping up her TDW, capping up her machine killers. She's got a lot of innate machine killers already, so she's good to go there. Gave her Tsukiko's card, which you can buy in the shop. 3% machine, magic machine. Don't care about LB damage because she's just going to be chaining her water chain because it's quite strong and it's enough to get this one done. All right, Laguna, who cares? He can be EX0 as long as you've crowned his Coochie Coochie, all right, to get the 89% defense spirit break and 160% water and peril. All right, that's all he's here for. He will chain his LB with Fina, so if you are trying to replicate this team exactly, you know, he will, actually, no, never mind. He does not chain with Fina because he's physical, so it's totally immune. So yeah, you can ignore that. But he will supply the gun in peril for Fina, by the way. Okay, so that is something. All right, Cisne just built her for some mag. Nothing too crazy here. I don't even think I built her for machine killers. No, I didn't, because all she's really here to do is to use Erinya's ring to quad cast Watera. Okay, so she gets that from Leviathan Esper, as you can see. So that's all she's doing. She's here for her machine killer buff. All right, which is right there. Okay, machine killer buff and to chain. That's it. Edea, you can see I didn't even really bother to finish equipping her here. So yeah, okay. Yep. She's just a chain slave basically. All right, that's all she's doing. She's here to chain, and she's going to provide the weapon in peril with the rod whip throwing weapon in peril. Okay, that's pretty much all she's here for. Okay, yeah, let's just get in here and get this one done. All right. So first thing, let's go ahead and just have Esther do all of her shenanigans. Her Omni Cover, Storm Guardian, Energizing Bunny. All right, Laguna is just going to do Coochie Coochie. Now, if you only had an EX0 Laguna, I believe this ability right here, if it'll show you. Are you going to show us? Show us. All right, come on. There it is. Yeah, this one should fill his LB gauge. So if you need to use that ability, I'm just going to do Coochie Coochie for the brakes because mine's EX2. But if yours is EX0 or EX1, use that other ability to fill up his LB because that'll be used for the gun in peril next turn. Cisne, all she's going to do is Machine Killer. All right, Edea, all she has to do is, we'll just do her cooldown. All right. All Selfie needs to do is ready for the mag buff. Fina is going to do Elemental Burst Water, Fill LB, and Charging Heartbeat. Alright, that'll fill up her LB, put a mod boost on there, do a mag store, give her a 150% water amp, she's good to go. All right, so we'll do quad Watera with Cisne. Selfie is going to do her quad Furious Watera. Make sure you awaken it. All right, you only have to awaken it to +1. It doesn't go any higher than that, but make sure you awaken that. All right, so that it is as strong as possible. All right, Idea is going to do her her LB for the weapon imperils. Laguna, I'm going to go ahead and do his LB because his is immune anyways, and this is just for the gun imperil. All right, so you'll see the boss is totally immune. All right, Fina, her LB does a bow reduction, but I don't really have a good mag bow. All right, but it does do triple bolting strike, so she should chain very well with everybody else here. Okay. All right, and I think that is pretty much good to go. So I'm going to do Idea and Fina first because they both chain triple bolting strike, and then do Cisne and Selfie. All right, that way Selfie gets full chain ramp because she's honestly going to carry the fight for us. Fina will do well too, don't get me wrong, but Selfie will do more than enough to cap this by herself. All right. Alright, there we go. Definitely hit the chain score without issue. Sure we did more than enough damage. The cap, yeah, wow. So the cap is only 1 billion for all these early stage bosses. We just did, 3.5 billion, so tons of overkill. And I'll show you in the damage report that Selfie carries it basically herself. So yeah, you almost don't even need Fina in there. I just threw her in there for fun. And there, yeah, see, Selfie carries it herself, so does Fina. So, if you don't have Selfie for whatever reason, but you do have a Fina, even at EX0, she'll blow it out of the water, no problem. No pun intended there. I can't believe I just said that. All right, blow it out of the water, that's funny. Okay, anyways, moving on. So that's the magic stage, capping that one. And then once you've capped it for the perfect score, then you can go in with a full Final Fantasy VIII squad, and just do bonus runs, because I think it only has 400, what does it have, 400 million HP or something like that. So killing it, is pretty easy on a turn 1 with a bonus team, especially with Selfie. All right, so that's the mag stage. I'm going to work my way backwards. So we'll do Seifer next. Seifer, you can do fire, wind, or dark. I have Flaring Ether Rain, so I went with fire. Okay, so let's switch over to my fire party real quick. All right, here's the fire party that I used. Flaring Ether Rain, obviously with the leader skill. Reagan is there to chain with him. We brought Laguna again because his crowned break does do a fire imperil as well, 145% fire imperil. Obviously, if you don't have Laguna, you could bring someone like Vaughn. Vaughn does a good fire imperil with a good solid break. And who else does a good fire imperil? Louise does a good fire imperil with a fire field, but she doesn't do a good defense break. I'm sure there are others out there just slipping my mind. I've got Summoner Lina there. She's there for a fire field. Also, her LB does quad Chaos Wave Awaken. Idea can do quad Firaga to chain with her, and so that'll help us hit our chain score. And then Reagan and Rain basically take it from there. Now, this team could easily do a first turn kill and cap everything and do a perfect score, but I'm going to do a 2-turn just in case your units aren't quite as strong, or for example, my Lina is only EX1, so I'm not going to have her LB up on turn 1 anyway, so I got to take that extra turn. So just to show you, I'll quickly go over the gear. I'm not even sure if they're all fully geared. Yeah, see, Reagan's not even fully geared. All right, you do want to gear for human killers. At least he's got the human killers there, so he's good. Esther, pretty much the same build in all of these, so nothing changes there. Lina didn't even put any gear on her, she's naked. Rain, just, I put all my best gear on him. You're gonna see it's stupid amount of overkill. Don't need all of this. You could honestly have an EX1 Rain and probably do just fine. Laguna is naked. Adia, she's got gear, but honestly, I didn't really gear her for the fight. All right. So let's just get in here and see how we do this. Okay. All right, so Laguna, go ahead and do his break. Esther will go ahead and do her Omni Cover, Mitigation, Energizing Bunny. All right, Adia can do, we'll drew Astral Barrier for some mitigations, why not? And then she has a Human Killer in her kit, so we're gonna use that. Human Killer for the party, and Fantasy Beyond Imagination. Lena just needs to fill up her LB, so Blessed Water Crystal for Lena. Alright, range is going to set up within Fire Raga, Elemental Burst Fire, and Unyielding Conviction for the Human Killer buff to himself. All that Reagan needs to do is his cooldown. Alright, there we go. Esther handles everything, no problem. Alright, so now Adia can do Quad Fire Raga. Lena does her LB. 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 Alright, and that's pretty much all we do. We start Adia and Lena first, let them ramp up, and then send Rain and Reagan. Okay. Should be like 40 billion damage or something. Oh, only 21. All right, no worries. I think it was 40 billion on the first level 1 stage or something like that. Yeah. Alright, so yeah, obviously we did 20 billion worth of overkill on that one, so that's like a super overkill team, but that's just to show you, yeah, there you go. Reagan can handle this on his own. If you don't have a Flaring Ether Rain, Reagan can carry it for you as long as you just have a, as long as you have a fire, or sorry, not a fire, as long as you have a triple Mirror of Equity Chainer to go with you. And don't forget, oh no, actually, never mind. This one is not a physical only, but it is. It does have much higher spirit than defense, so you definitely want to use physical damage dealers on that one. All right. Now the first two I use the exact same team, so I'm not going to show you both of these. I'm just going to do Elvoret and show you the team that I use, because you can use ice on both of these. So I put an ice team together to take down both of these first two fights, and this is the team that I used. I really wanted to bring in my my Physalis with her crown, so you know, she had her crown event not too long ago, and she got some crowns that make her nice and strong. So I wanted to bring her in to cap these first couple of bosses. So here's the team that we're playing with. Again, it's going to be a 2-turn strategy: 1 turn to set up, turn 2 to kill. So here's Physalis's gear in a Brave Shift form. Not too crazy. 1 form of Chain Cat boost, Summer Sparky to make her TDH. Honestly, the killers I wasn't too concerned about. The human killers are for the first stage because it's human and fairy. All right, that's against Ifrit. Ifrit is human and fairy, so a little human killer and fairy killer in there. But honestly, it's not really necessary. Elvoret is actually demon, and I didn't even gear for the demon killer, but she still managed to kill him anyways. So 300% LB damage. She's got some. She actually caps demon innately, I think. So that's probably why I didn't bother to build for demon. And then yeah, she's got some human and some fairy killer in there. She is a mage, so make sure it's all magic killers, and that's all she needs. Oh, I do want to point out, make sure you have crowned. If you want her to do what you're seeing here, make sure you have crowned her ability, Load Super Strong Ice Bullets, because that's what gives her a ton of killers, gives her some TDH, 2000 flat mag, and really improves her LB so that it hits like a truck. All right. Esther, once again, exact same build. She's just here to tank all the damage, so you don't get any damage taken score. All right, super easy. Again, pretty much the same build from Adia here, but again, didn't bother to build her because she's just here to chain. Ish is here because she got crowns recently, and she got this nice crown, very similar to Laguna with the defense and spirit break, but it comes with a 160% ice and peril. All right, so that's very nice. Other than that, she's just going to be doing some chaining. And then we've got Louise here. Louise is really nice. She pairs very well with Physalis in these events because of Incapacitate Target, which does the 90% Spirit Break. And then, if you wanted to, you could then switch over here and do Disarming for the 35% Gun Imperil. Okay, now it's not absolutely necessary to do that. And in fact, I'm not even going to use that in this fight because it's not needed. But you could use that on turn 2 to set up the Gun Imperil for Physalis to do more damage. And we might do that later on in like another magic fight. You've probably seen me do that in the previous Dark Visions event to basically line up with Physalis using her guns. And then, yeah, I think, Medina, don't even really care. Yeah, she's just a chain slave. All right, so let's get in here and do it. Okay, Ish will just do the break. All right, Esther, if you've seen it once, you've seen it a million times. Omni cover. All right, mitigations, energizing bunny. All right, Luis is just gonna do incapacitate target. That's all she needs to do. Medina, honestly, she can just guard. All right, Adia, if you're going up against Ifrit, she'll use her human killer on this turn, but we're not, so we don't really care. Adia can just do Fantasy Beyond Imagination. Physalis is going to do Magic Gunner type, Self-Enhancement, and load F-type Strongest Limit. Make sure that's the last thing that you use because it does the mag store. Okay? So we're not even going to bother putting a stack on her LB. We're just setting up and we're going to smack it next turn. Alright, so Esther handles all that jazz. Luis, so if you needed the Gun Imperil, this would be the turn where you shift Louise and do quadruple disarming. But we're just going to stay in normal form in case your Luis is only EX0. Alright, and then we'll do, oh, what are we doing? Coming up here to Blizzaga. We have to do Chaos Wave Awaken, unfortunately, because that's the only thing Medina can do. She's worthless. Alright, you could obviously swap out Medina and put in someone that can do Bolting Strike if you'd rather. Alright, but everybody here can do Chaos Wave Awaken, so, and it's nice and slow. It means you don't have to worry about trying to fit Physalis' finisher in there somewhere. Alright, so this is pretty simple, just chain it up and go. Alright, easy peasy. And again, the damage cap is only 1 billion, so there we go. We quintupled it, basically. And you'll get the exact same results against Ifrit. So I'm not going to actually show you Ifrit because it's literally the exact same team, exact same rotation, and you'll get the exact same results there. So yeah, that is all Physalis all the way, taking it home. You see Adia, even though I didn't really build her up, I mean, she's like halfway to the cap there by herself. So I mean, you could theoretically get away with just bringing Adia in here to slay all these, potentially. All right, and also Sylvie, or not Sylvie, Selfie's in VA. So she actually works on a lot of these stages, except for Seifer. Seifer, you have to use physical units just because of the difference between the spirit and the defense. All right, and I think that is pretty much it. Yep. So I won't do Ifrit. All right, like I said. And then yeah, when the final bosses come up, over the weekend, you know, I'll clear those out and try to get those guys, or try to get a couple of clear videos out to you guys for the final bosses as well. This one should be cappable. You know, I don't really know what to expect with the final bosses because I don't play JP, but it should be a fairly easily cappable boss, I think. But who knows? We'll find out. All right. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you on the other side.